Rather than diving in cold turkey, I'm gonna slowly wean myself off of coffee for the next 2 weeks, progressively adding more and more decaf to my coffee until I'm 100% decaf. I love coffee, particularly a strong cup of black coffee, but for the last 30 days, I gave it all up. Did not consume any caffeine whatsoever. And why? Why did I do this? Well, one, I didn't want to feel beholden to a molecule, caffeine, feel the need that I needed this substance. And additionally, I wanted to see what would happen if I stopped drinking caffeine. What would the withdrawal feel like? Would it affect my work productivity? Would it help me sleep better? Maybe reduce some of my anxiety? And because I was interested in all this, I decided to stop drinking coffee. Today, there's only 5 grams of caffeinated coffee, and it's a little depressing. I'm gonna miss coffee. I'm not drinking decaf during this experiment, just because I want to be 100% sure that I'm not consuming caffeine. So no decaf, no caffeinated tea, and even no chocolate, because chocolate has caffeine in it. It's the morning of day 1 of no caffeine. Started the day with tea rather than coffee. I have a massive headache, but I don't think it's because of the no coffee. I think it's because of the weather, or maybe just a good old-fashioned migraine. But I couldn't take Excedrin for my headache because it has caffeine in it, and I'm trying to stick truly to the challenge. So I took some ibuprofen instead. From the moment we wake up in the morning, adenosine starts to build up in our body. And we have these receptors, the adenosine receptors, that as adenosine locks into them, it tells our body that we are getting tired. As we sleep, the adenosine gets cleared away. Well, coffee is a similar shape to adenosine and fits in the adenosine receptor, so it blocks the adenosine's ability to tell us that we're tired. That's how coffee wakes us up. It blocks our body's ability to realize how tired we are. It is the second day working without caffeine. It's just after lunch, where I would typically have my second cup of coffee, oftentimes accompanied with a little piece of chocolate. So I'm having a little bit of a post-lunch slump. But yesterday was okay without coffee. It's better with, but no headache. Well, okay, a little bit of a headache. Not a bad headache. End of work update. My head hurts, and my brain's not working. I feel like garbage. I'm just past week 1 of no caffeine, and it's actually been fine. I did have a mild headache for 4 or 5 days, but nothing that, a few hundred milligrams of ibuprofen couldn't cure. Maybe I felt a little foggier, especially in the afternoons, a little bit more sluggish. But my work really wasn't affected, which is good. I probably would have stopped this experiment if I felt that I couldn't actually do my job. And the biggest thing is just really missing coffee. It's day 11 on my no caffeine challenge, and overall it's been okay, no more headaches, but I have noticed that at the end of the workday, I am done. There's nothing left. And I didn't see that as much when I was drinking coffee. So I'm going to attribute it to no caffeine. If you've ever consumed coffee, you know that it gives you a burst of energy and can help you focus, as long as you don't overdo it. And as I was preparing for this video, I dug into the work of Michael Pollan and his book, Caffeine. He talks about how coffee is actually partially responsible for the Age of Enlightenment and the Industrial Revolution. Now, in the 1600s and before, most people drank beer, a lot of beer, and were kind of mildly drunk because Water wasn't pure, it wasn't good to drink, but beer, because it was boiled, was safe. Well, alcohol is a depressant and coffee is a stimulant, but coffee also uses boiled water. So when they would be drinking this coffee, it was safer and it really energized them and brought about much of what we know today. So thanks, coffee. Well, I didn't want to miss out on the productive benefits, especially at work, so I picked up some mushroom coffee from Forcematic. They have some that actually have caffeine in it, but the particular one that I got was caffeine free to see if it would give me a boost of energy. And it did, a little bit. A little bit like miso soup. About a week to go on my 30-day no caffeine experiment. It's still going fine. The mushroom coffee the first day was definitely a boost of focus, but I think it is a little bit of diminishing returns. Still an effect, and I do like the taste. It has a nice umami flavor, something warm to drink during the winter, but it's still not coffee. I'm very much looking forward to my first cup of coffee in a week and seeing how I react. Now, a few weeks ago on this channel, I made a video about waking up early, and part of that is getting a good night's sleep. Sleep is very important to me, but caffeine can really affect your sleep. So I was interested to see if I would sleep better not consuming coffee. Well, looking at my data on from my Apple Watch, it was pretty inconclusive. I didn't see a big difference. But I typically tried to stop consuming coffee past 2 p.m. Some people say even before noon. For me, I know that I am a fast metabolizer of caffeine due to some genetic testing that I've done, but caffeine takes a while to break down in the body. You know how I talked about those adenosine receptors? Well, caffeine has a half-life between 7 and 8 hours. So if you consume a cup of coffee, 8 hours later, 50% of that caffeine is still floating around in your body. So make sure that if you're drinking caffeine, give it enough time to break down before you go to bed. Currently heating up water for my first coffee in 30 plus days. Very excited to have coffee again. Interested to see what that jolt of energy looks like. And then apparently after consuming that coffee, I was so jazzed that I actually forgot to hit the record button. I distinctly remember recording a little segment about the effects that I was experiencing, the boost of energy, a little bit of heart racing, but I forgot to click the button. Overall, this experiment has been good. It has definitely reset my tolerance for caffeine. I didn't really notice any improvements on anxiety, but one interesting thing that I noticed was reduced acid reflux, which coffee can attribute because it's somewhat acidic and maybe there's some other mechanisms going on. I am going to continue to drink coffee, but I'm definitely going to reduce it. Usually in the morning, I make myself 2 cups of coffee, drink one about around 8 o'clock, and then the other one right after lunch. I'm going to cut that down to just 1 cup of coffee. At least that's the plan. Maybe I'll have a little bit more on the weekends. I personally enjoy coffee and find a lot of joy in it. But it was good to do this experiment and to tell myself and show myself that I didn't need coffee. So I hope you got some value out of this video. My name is Tyler Lloyd, and this is my YouTube channel all about living a happier, healthier, more sustainable life. If that's of interest to you, consider subscribing down below. And if you've made it this far, I think you like this video, so please hit that thumbs up button. It really helps out. Maybe I'll interest you in these 2 videos that YouTube thinks you will like. But until next time, my name is Tyler Lloyd, and I wish you the best. Bye.